So good afternoon, everybody. We'll get things started here. Welcome back. Very excited to have the Chamber, the Greater Knowledge Chamber Lunch and Learning Series get started again this year, February through November. We're going to be here the first Wednesday of the month. But this year, we are officially sponsored and presented by Southwestern Michigan College. So thank you to Jason and helping support this series. You know, we were kind of just figuring things out last year, and I think we ended with great content, a lot of good support from chamber members coming out to find out what we had to offer, and I think we've got our bearings, and we're looking forward to a full year of really interesting content. You know, for our talent managers and beyond. You know, we're grateful to see a lot of our kind of our human resource folks here. We want to try to support them with interesting, you know, continuing education stuff that's going to help them in their roles, just be more efficient in their business and grow their business. And so, out of the gate, first up, we're talking digital strategic marketing. You know, it's a confusing world out there. There's a lot to take in, and we've got some experts within our chamber membership that can talk to this. We have Restaurant Week coming up in March 4th through the 10th. So I thought that would be an interesting starting point for the discussion. The chamber is supporting that Restaurant Week. We've hired a professional marketing firm to do some professional advertising for us. And so, before I introduce TJ, I do want to thank Kira Don Chepe for bringing the lunch today. They're probably the best place in town for tacos. I'm a little partial. They've gotten a sizable amount of my personal income there over the last 10 years. I just think they're fantastic. So, really happy that they're able to help support our little lunch here today. Indeed. And so, TJ Jorgensen is the CEO of TJ21. Not only was my former neighbor, but he's extremely well respected throughout the South Bend region. So excited that they're now chamber members, and I went with them on the video ad filming at our local restaurants a couple weeks ago, and I need to say firsthand, top-notch professionals, knew what they were doing, treated our chamber members with great respect, and worked with them to produce what I think are some really excellent advertisements for our Restaurant Week coming up to help support our local our restaurants. So with that, I'll turn it over to TJ, who will show us a preview of the ad and just talk to us a little bit about you know, engaging with a professional marketing firm.
Well, hi, I'm TJ. I run TJ21 Media Group. Started that company, I feel weird behind this, 11 years ago, I think. I've been in this business for over 31 years now. I'm not older than I look. I think I look younger. 7 kids, 7 grandkids, and now 2 dogs. Never thought I would ever have a dog, now I have 2. And we just love passion. That's one of the biggest things that go with what we do. TJ21 Media Group is video, marketing representation, media. That's kind of like what we do. As I was talking with I was talking with Aisha a little bit. She's in web development, and what a great synergy what she has. We build websites, but we're kind of in a little niche. We only do it for our clients. We don't do it if you were to call and say, "Can you build me a website?" I'd probably refer you to her now. It doesn't matter today. What we do is we handle websites for our existing retainer clients. And we represent, I'm a marketing agent by trade, so a good way to explain that would be on a gigantic scale. If you're LeBron James and you want to represent a product like a Sprite, LeBron doesn't pick up the phone, 1-800-SPRITE. He calls his agent and says, "I think this would be great. I want to do this." His agent handles everything. He goes back to flopping on court. From my aspect, take it all the way down to a more local matter. If you own, let's say, as I was just telling her, like a garage, an auto mechanic garage, and you want to get yourself out there, whether it's something as simple as sponsoring a local Optimus Soccer, Little League, or if you want to get 10 billboards throughout Michiana, we handle that for you. Our job is to handle all aspects of your marketing. Depending on the package you're on with us, might just be that you can call to consult, talk with me about some things. pick our brain of all our 14 employees, or if you need us to handle every aspect. Instead of paying a marketing director and that staff potentially tens of thousands of dollars, you would pay us a fraction of that, and you would inherit our team to handle that stuff for you. Our number one thing we're so passionate about is video. Video is something that, to me, is such an integral part of your business. Google owns YouTube for a reason. It's the number one form of SEO, SEO, search engine optimization. You can have the greatest website that agent will build for you, but if that website doesn't generate traffic, it's useless. Your website's gonna say, I'll give you $1 million just for clicking like, or sending us a contact form. If nobody ever finds that website, it's useless. You've got to rank. And that's where a team like hers can make sure you build a website that's gonna work. And also, you've got to have something that's gonna keep people on the website. Statistically speaking, people are on websites for 3.5 seconds. 3.5 seconds, you have got to get their attention. Video does that. You have a video right there at the front, whether it's a video that's playing, just plays all the time, it's just quiet, you know, when it's at the top. Or as soon as you get to the website, the first thing you see is, hi, welcome to Bob's Garage, I'm Bob, and blah, 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 blah. That gets their attention, makes them want to stay, especially if that video is not corny. I won't use names, but there's a guy that does a lot of commercials, they're on all the time, and let's just say that it rhymes with freedom, it's the corniest commercials in the world. We don't do that. And when Mr. Fred called us to ask us about this, I was so kind, I was like, you know what, there is a company out there that will want to do that, we're not it. And not because it's corny, I didn't tell him that. It's because when our legacy is written, when we're done, when I'm laid to rest and passed on to many people after me, I want them to know that TJ did this with purpose and passion, not corny. So we do your standard commercials, which we'll see here in a minute, or at the Nons Chamber, and then we'll do passion projects. I've traveled to several parts of the world filming documentaries. We have worked for some of the, I use Garth Brooks because he's probably one of the most recognized names in the world. I mean, like this Swift girl is kind of hot right now, but to be able to work with Garth Brooks, and when somebody like Garth Brooks comes back to town and calls Jeff Ray, the chamber president, and says, I want the same guy that did the last time, no questions asked. When the governor, when he was, of course, he was running for re-election back in 2020, but when he's telling me that I love all your work, I'm a big fan, I just like, I don't know you, I don't care, I'll say whatever I want. I was like, yeah, name one thing I've done. And he's like, well, let's see, you're very strong behind Light Treatment Center in South End. Okay. And then Big Brothers Big Sisters, I know you've been doing that for like 15 years. I'm like, okay, somebody's A did their work and passed it on to you, that's awesome. So I was impressed by him, and I did a project for him. And after I'm done taking his mic off, and he says, the first thing he says, not anything about how did everything go, blah, blah, just, he's like 6'6", so he's really tall. I was taking his mic off him, and he says to me, you believe me what I said when I was telling you that I'm gonna do everything I can to help you, right? I'm like, sir, it's an election year, you'll say anything, but next to laugh, and I was like, seriously, I really appreciate that, thank you. Not 6 weeks go by, and I get a phone call from the director of health, the state of Indiana or something. He says that we're supposed to have this this thing that comes through. We have to have 5 quotes to be able to manage this whole rolling out. This is members 2020, rolling out the vaccine and how we're going to deal with that. We need a marketing firm that can really get us out there. I have something here, son. He was much older than me. He said, I have something here, son, that says I have a gubernatorial exception, and I'm allowed to use only you. And I was like, that man, he actually followed what he said. So to be able to work with people that literally say, I only want to work with this company, is pretty awesome. That's something I'm really proud of. So video is something we're very passionate about. That's what I was saying. When we film stuff, one of my most favorite things, I just shared on my social a week ago, we were asked to capture the story of the USA Patriots softball team. And they are a national team, the only team in existence, that every member of the team has lost a limb, an arm, leg, eye, fingers, something, from serving in the country, serving for this country. And while I never personally served, my father was a former POW in Vietnam, so I was really inclined to jump on this. And I said, well, how'd you hear about me? And he said, actually, believe it or not, I follow you on your socials, and I see your projects, and I'm just blown away by your passion. They're out of Kansas City or something. And he said, would you be interested in helping us tell the story? And I said, I'm blown away by it. So he even said numbers didn't even matter. I don't care. I just want this to work. And I said, well, I want to work with your budget also. So we met, and he said, can you tell the story? And I said, be honored. So we first traveled to Iowa, to Field of Dreams, where Kevin Costner film was made in '88, and we filmed the story there of all these kids camp they do, and watching these kids that some are born without a limb, and some they had cancer and they lost an arm. But watching their story, despite their plight, they are just out there with so much energy and excitement. I'm interviewing all these guys, and they're just telling me about how their lives, they went through depression, they went through damn near suicide, and they've come through all that, and here they are to tell their story and help kids to persevere. I have goosebumps thinking about it right now. And I wanted to tell this story so bad, so we filmed a bunch of footage there, and we went down to the Detroit Tigers spring training facility in Florida, and they have their spring training there at the same time. The Tigers roll it out for them, let them stay there. And we filmed all this footage for 3-4 days there, and just finished this documentary. And just watching it just gives me chills, because of that is the reason why I do what I do, for passion, to get people to change the world, to get people to be inspired, to want to tell other people to change the world. That's why I do this. If that means making a commercial that'll get people to go to Restaurant Week, that works too. I want to do things that are going to help people, not just make some guy stand up there and say, "I'm Freedom Fred from Brody Automotive." I should not. I heard he's a really, really nice guy. But that's just not what we do. So that's kind of like my story. When I was talking to Ryan, I was like, "Do I bring something?" I used to teach a class called Infectious Energy. I have a little bit of energy, you can't tell. And I used to teach actually in this building many, many years ago. And I taught this class that allowed people to be inspired and excited about what they do. If I had to choose between some of the we do videos, or like that, or can we do videos for you to get you really excited? You're more likely gonna want to work with that person. And that doesn't matter if it's banking or whatever it is. If you bring a little bit of energy to your life, you're more likely gonna infect the other people around you when they leave. I will tell you 1%, maybe 10%, will be like, "Hold on, young man, you're spinning way too fast and I can't handle this." That's gonna happen. But 90% are gonna be like, "I'm fired up, let's do something." Not just for me, but for your business. So I've taught a lot of these, I've done a lot of these seminars and stuff that I go teach people about how to get inspired. So video is the #1 form that I talk about today. So that's kind of, I'm gonna show you the video. Ryan, want me to show that?
Go for it.
We did 4 of these, and again, these are just your standard 30s. We did 4 of these at each place we went. It was just gonna be one commercial. I talked to Ryan, I was like, why don't we do 4 separate ones? It's all the same story, that's why we're only gonna show one. But I think these are really cool, I think they turn out well for what they're trying to be.
Welcome to the 5th Annual Niles Restaurant Week, sponsored by Corewell Health, taking place Monday, March 4th through Sunday, March 10th. Come experience the unique sights, sounds, and flavors of Niles Restaurant Week specials in over a dozen locations, like the Braceos Bakery, and so much more. Niles Restaurant Week, sponsored by Corewell Health, Monday, March 4th through Sunday, March 10th. See you then.
This is a standard commercial, typical thing, but what this doesn't show you, the speaker made it sound like the audio wasn't great, but it's really good. And the video shots are really good. We want to be able to capture things. Everything we do is cinematic. We don't shoot with cheap cameras. There's anything wrong with using some stuff. Smaller companies use it, that's totally fine. We're one of only a few companies that own all of our own equipment. We don't rent anything, we own everything. And we're able to capture almost everything because of that. Live stream, we do a lot of big events. We own all our own LED walls. So when you go to like the Garth Brooks concert at Notre Dame Stadium, you see the LED walls up, that's what we do. So we've done John Mellencamp, we've done Kid Rock, we've done a number of people, and when they come back in town, actually one artist actually has us come to where he's at now. So that's pretty cool. I can't remember his name. Eminem argues with him all the time. Oh my gosh, he's got 3. Machine Gun Kelly, that was it. I couldn't think of his name. So him and Eminem started spatting a lot in between their battles and shit. But anyway, but like he wants us to go to Denver. So we go to Denver, shoots a concert at Red Rock, and he says, "Hey man, if you're down for coming out here, I'd rather use you. I love working with you." So when you build a reputation with people, they want to work with you. And I think that's what we've been able to accomplish. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Is the video you shot that was inspirational about the younger?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a place we can go to watch that?
Absolutely. So I won't show you the full thing, but if I can just show you even the first minute, if that's okay, Ryan? If
Yes.
that's okay, a minute? This is such a special thing. And it is on my socials. Actually, it's on, if you look up the USA Patriots, you can see it.
Okay.
It's also on our TJ21 Facebook page. Here it is right here. Oh, that's when we filmed with the code.
fascinating.
So this team kind of started back in 2011. Everybody was beat up and mangled in the hospital, going from appointment to appointment, and that was our daily life. We'd be in the hospital bed, and then we'd roll out to our appointment, and the physical therapy we did. It kind of became stagnant at that point.
I got up after I was knocked down with help from friends and family, and getting a call to try out for the softball team back in March 2011 was my jump start to find my new normal.
You know, I figured that it was something I used to love to do, but I'd lost 2 of the fingers of my right hand, lost my right eye.
It was the first time in my post-injury that I met other veterans that were missing limbs and had the same difficulties I have, and it was healing in so many ways to be around other people that know what it's like to be an upper extremity amputee.
So yeah, that's the story we filmed. It's about 4 minutes long, but if you look up the USA Patriots, I think it's running on their social media pages. Again, it's on our socials as well. It's pretty awesome. And that guy that lost the arm, he was one of the stories that talked about where he was he told his mother, he said, I'm gonna end my life today, and I want to say goodbye to you. And he served his country for 8 years. Nothing ever happened to him there. He was unscathed. And then a guy, he was on his motorcycle, and a drunk driver just nailed him. And it was horrible. He wrote a letter. He was so angry. He never found the guy that did it. He ended up writing a letter to deliver to him, and he ended up wanting to get all his emotions out. After he delivered the letter, he told his mom that he was ending his life today. And his mom said to him, if you give me 1 year from this date, I will help you. Jack Kevorkian for you older people. Jack Kevorkian, I will help you end your life. But just give me 1 year. And he agreed, promised his mom that, and started turning his life around. And now he speaks all over the country. That's his full-time job as a motivational speaker and playing on his softball team. And he owns the Guinness Book of World Records for the most one-arm push-ups.
Oh,
So
wow.
at the end of that video, we actually show a clip of him just busting out one arm. So it's amazing. So, yeah, that's a great story. Any other questions? Yes.
TJ, talk more about once you capture some good video, like what is your average small business chamber member able to do with that video?
Wow. So the short version of that, I would talk to your web developer first. You want to get it on your website. That's going to boost your SEO right away. Some people put it on their contact page or their about page. I would tell you, and a good web developer will say, let's put it on two places. Let's put it on that page. Let's get it on the front page. Number 2, blast this thing on your socials. I don't mean just posting every day. Don't do that. You'll actually lose engagement. Post it on there, pin it to the top, and then put some money behind it. I don't recommend you follow what Facebook says, and for $5 you can reach 2,000 people. Do not ever do that. You are throwing your money away. But you can use your business manager account to actually do it the correct way, or hire somebody that can do that for you. Doing it for you and make sure that you're actually going to get your bang for your buck. And then 3, I would use this thing in lobbies. If you have a place, if you own a garage or a place where people get an oil change, you can put it on there. Maybe you're going to be presenting somewhere. Show that. That would be depending on what you're doing. That's just 4 quick ideas. Television. I mean, television in the past was me, and then COVID came and it spiked up because what can we do? And then after COVID, believe it or not, actually 22, it started to dip because everyone just wanted to get away from being locked in the house, right? But then it started coming back in 23 in a big way. So now I think we've kind of leveled out to this medium that, like when I get out of the shower in the morning, I go into my little closet area, it's a big closet, and I'll turn on local television and I'll just hear what's going on in the world in the morning. And I see a lot of my commercials on there. So that's probably the 5 ways I think I would do that, Ryan, is your web, socials, putting it on the screen somewhere, and taking a look at television. You can also buy digital ads too. There's a lot of digital stuff that you can utilize.
How much percentage-wise for TV versus like streaming, Hulu, YouTube, and that stuff?
Good question. And I'll actually, and I don't want it to take too much longer, but I would actually start by telling you, I get that question a lot for radio. I have nothing against radio. It's a great medium, but if I were to I'll just do it right now. There's a mixture of people in this room. Raise your hand if you get in your car and listen to local radio. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 15 to 18. Statistically, it's about 15% is that's who's doing that. So if I'm your agent, if you tell me that you want, if Ricky says, TJ, I want you to find the best way to get my message out there. Do you think radio will work? I'll say, listen, you're paying me to get your message out there. I'm not gonna put it on local radio. But what I will do is talk to them about doing some kind of a live event. Roll your big, pretty Hummer out in front of the property, and let's do something then where you can do live hits like that. Maybe that'll get us a little bit, but I'm gonna put it on digital. I will tell you, television, and we have all these numbers, it used to be Nielsen, now it's ComScores. We're able to pull this data and tell you exactly what people are doing. We are all plugged in. Unless you're one of these people that you don't want anybody to know about, you got your guns, and you don't want anybody to know about what you do, blah, blah, blah. You're a minority, because the majority of us are locked in. We're plugged into Google, we're plugged into our socials. If you pull your phones out, you're all probably logged in. Because of that, they know about everything you're doing. They know about your mannerisms, they know what you like, they know what you don't like. They know what you skip right over. Because of that, they want to put the right message in front of you. I don't get commercials for women's shoes, because I don't wear them, nor buy them. But I get a whole lot of stuff for everything I can do with baseball, anything I can do with the things I like. In my business, I get them all. So the percentage right now is, believe it or not, right about 50-50. So I would try to use both of those. I'm gonna go after the audience that did the, what's it called, cut the cord. I wanna go after those people that aren't watching local television, but are on Hulu and have all these streaming services. And we can buy all that stuff, we do it every day. And I still wanna get some stuff on local television. So it's about 50. Any other questions?
I'm interested. So if only 5 of us listen to the radio, what's everybody else doing?
Good question, shout it out.
Spotify.
XM.
Google
Yep.
Play.
So there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to use a straight statistic. I don't know hardly any of you in here, and I just say, what do you guys do when you get in your car? I listen to sports. I listen to the ESPN. My car has a channel, but the majority of it, as I'm a new way of reading books. I think it's lazy, but it's listening to books. So I'm reading the Subtle Art of Not Giving a F-Bomb. Great book, fantastic book. So I'm listening to that when I'm in the car every day. So I never listen. I don't even know how to find local radio anymore. And I'm in my 50s and I can't find local radio. The car's a gigantic electric computer. I don't know anything about it. Any other questions? Yes.
So what would you do for like the geofencing? Because that's where like the radio
A lot of that, targeted
offers
stuff.
that or targets that. So
Yep.
what other way could
So
you go?
when radio says they're doing that, they're not, that's not entirely, it's not true.
Right.
They're not telling you the full story. That's because they do so many other digital forms of advertising that they're using that to couple with your radio spots. So we do geofencing every single day, all the time. So we do that through digital. We don't do it necessarily with your radio spot. There's no need for it.
So there's other
goal-
ways to go about it than that,
Correct.
right? Okay.
So let's say that I have an ad running for our company. If you go anywhere in downtown South Bend, my ad is gonna pop up on your social feed when you're scrolling through. If you were to look up something about my company, you're gonna get an ad pop up on your phone again within the next 24 hours. So I geofence downtown South Bend. If I'm at an event, if I'm filming at Notre Dame, I'm gonna geofence that. I'll let my crew know that I'm gonna be there, and we'll start creating that kind of thing. Definitely, you can geofence, and that's a huge way to do it.
They do it with a lot of the campaigns for like through the health department and stuff is what they were using.
Absolutely. It definitely works. That kind of stuff works. All right, thank you very much. I'll leave some cards. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to reach out.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And TJ mentioned SEO. What a great tie-in to Asha and SOS Website Solutions. She's going to talk to us about that. We hear the acronym more and more these days, but I suspect a lot of us could learn a lot more about what SEO is. And there's a website towards the end of her presentation that I plugged in, and Chamber got a B+ on its rating. So I thought, we're not doing too bad, but there's room for improvement. So I definitely had some takeaways as I was browsing through this. So I look forward to hearing more information. So come on up. And there's so many tacos. Please feel free to get up and move around the cabin.
Hi, I'm Aisha Perea with SS Website Solutions. I've been a partner with my mom for about 15 years now, it seems like. So I'm going to go over some SEO basics, so your SEO one-on-one, and focus primarily on organic SEO, so not paid. So what is search engine optimization? When you think about SEO and you hear that, what do you think? What does
Keywords.
that mean? Keywords. So how can your business be more visible across search engines? Google, Bing, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, which the digital marketing platforms are becoming more and more popular for people to use as a search engine when they're looking for something that they want or ideas on, you know, a new suit or something like that. They go there first. And so it is a good place to start. So I always like to say that a website is kind of like a car without gas. So a website without SEO is kind of like a car without gas. You're not going to go very far. So this is just a little checklist. Like these are just a few key points that you could look at and start with for your organic search. So organic SEO helps build trust and credibility. So the more websites that rank highly in organic search results are often perceived as more credible and trustworthy by users and by search engines, not just by your users. Okay, so on-page SEO refers to the content that we can control, the things that you can change, the text, your images, your website architecture, your HTML, the things that you can actively be changing on a monthly basis to make sure that you're keeping up with your competitors. So content is still king. We need good video quality, we need good image quality. So a few questions that you can ask yourself is it useful for the user? Are they gonna find value from it? Does it keep them entertained? Is it easy to read? Is it unique and stands out against your competitors? Does it show who your true brand is? Is it relevant to questions that your user would be asking about your company, about your business? So keyword research is ongoing. It's not something that you're gonna do one time and then you're just done and over and hey, I know my keywords and then I can move on. So keyword research can be as simple as just thinking about what would I search for if I was looking for marketing, if I was looking for car insurance, if I was looking for pet lodging or pet care. So when you're doing SEO writing, you really want to emphasize readability. You don't want to overuse keywords. So they used to do that a lot with keyword stuffing. They would just go and put in a whole bunch of keywords and key phrases that fit their business, but that doesn't really, Google will flag that now. They see, the algorithms can see that it's not useful to the user, so it just creates confusion. We want to keep things short, brief. Bullet points are great. People really like to scan when they read through, so they look for those headings and subheadings, and Google does the same thing to tell it what your page is about. Is this information what the user is looking for, what the searcher is wanting? And like TJ talked about a lot with visual assets, they're super important. You have to have quality images. You have to have the right aspect ratio. If you're running a reel or a story, you don't want to have a vertical display that cuts off whatever you have on your content. It also gives you an opportunity to boost your SEO by using meaningful alt tags that help tell Google what your photo is about. So for your HTML, we've got our title tags, our meta descriptions, image optimization, and using bulleted lists. So for title tags, they should be very specific to what your section is about, what your page is about, relevant to the topic. Your meta description should be about what your page is about without, it's like describing what is on this page directly that your user is looking for. Because it's the first thing that they're gonna see. They're gonna see your title when they search for you if you pop up, and then they're gonna see your meta description as that little brief paragraph that you see when you search for something or somebody. So site speed is very important, like TJ said, 3 seconds or less. If that, and if you have any loading problems or if things aren't coming up, those people are likely just leaving and going off somewhere So responsive design, if I look at your website on a desktop or a phone, can I still understand it when I get to the phone? Do I lose things? Or is the information that's on my mobile, is it too overwhelming for that smaller device that I'm looking for and I can't find the information? Or I can't find how to contact you right away. I have to search, and I'm not going to search. I'm probably just gonna go back to Google and search. Your URL structure, you want your URL to be, again, meaningful, consistent with the page, it's about what your page is about. So off-page SEO is anything that you're doing, like social media, backlinks, Google My Business, anything that's not on your actual website, that so your social media. Yes?
What are backlinks?
So backlinks are links from another website to your website. So you want those to be quality links so a big thing that we do is we go through and find all of these backlinks and look for quality. Like sometimes you'll have a site that you really don't want linking back to your site and you want to block that. But there's all types of really good backlinks that you can get that will boost your SEO.
Question?
Yes.
How important is Google My Business?
Google My Business is very important for any business that wants to reach people locally. So, Google kind of dominates a lot of the web, and so if you're not on Google, if you're not listed, it's not going to be great. You need to be able to find you on Google and easily find your contact information, your website, where people can leave reviews. Reviews are very important. So backlinks can really help your site appear more authoritative. Sorry, did you have a question?
I said not always. I'm the sheriff's department, so yeah, feedback's not always good.
But negative feedback can still be okay.
No, I
You
know.
respond to it in a positive way. So for social media, while page ranking isn't directly influenced by how many shares, likes, or comments you have, social media is an important channel to promote your site online. So once you have your website built, you have your Google My Business in place, you have your good quality videography, your images, then you want to be sharing that to the relevant social media channels to your business. Like not every social media channel is going to provide your business the most benefits. So Google My Business. It's very important for the location or service area and business type, and your contact information and opening hours. How many times have you searched Google for something that you need, and that's the first thing that you go to? Is that phone number that's right there, or that website that you can easily get to? So it is important to have your Google My Business set up correctly and be optimizing it and looking at it, checking out your images that you have on there, checking out your reviews, responding to your reviews, even if they're negative. So technical SEO, first the website and server optimization. So it just helps the search engine crawl and index your site more efficiently. It can improve your organic rankings. Does anybody know what SSL is? Have you known? So it's the secure socket layer. So it keeps it lets everybody know that Google sees that your site is verified, it's owned, it's legit, it's not. So when you're in a browser and you've got your URL, there's a little lock. Looks like a little lock pad. If that's got an X through it or isn't there, then you do not have SSL on that site. So it just kind of tells the search engine that your site hasn't been verified, and so we don't know, this could be a risk. Like sometimes you'll see that, you'll search, and you'll get that potential risk warning and proceed at your own. So speeding up your site is very important. Users aren't going to stay searching for the information that they need. They're going to look and scan and look for those headings and subheadings to find exactly what they were looking for. or they're gonna go back and repeat a different search to get a better result. Duplicate content. So you don't, that kind of goes with the keyword stuffing. You don't want to have the same thing over and over and over. So like he said, you do want to have, if you have a really good video, a commercial that was put together, having that sent front and center on your homepage. I love to have like a full width header that's a video that's just auto looped with no audio. Sorry, I said auto looped, but it just draws people's attention right away. And if the video gives the relevant information that they're looking for right there up front, they're going to continue going down or going to your contact to try to get a hold of you. So a sitemap, this indexes all of the pages on your site. So you want to have a sitemap that gets submitted to Google, gets submitted to Bing, and then this just helps your indexing process, which is like telling Google, this is my website, this is who we are, this is the pages that are here, and here's my structure. And then at the bottom of that, you have to register your site with Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. So it's very important that you do this. It is a process because we can't just make Google do what we want, but we can try to expedite the process by requesting and looking at what Google sees as an error or maybe why you're not indexing, and just reiterating, fixing the problem, and going back and re-requesting Google to crawl.
We actually helped our businesses get Google verified like some years ago.
Yeah.
It was kind of a hot thing, so definitely there's a
Yeah, and then they went and they changed everything too, so it's made it a little bit more. They went from Universal Analytics for Google to G4. So that change in property, I think, has created a lot of stress for a lot of people. You stop tracking data if you haven't updated from UA to G4. So local SEO, that's, when someone searches locally, if you're optimizing your website, your marketing strategy, your Google My Business, everything you have for a digital face should all be consistent and appear as your brand should. Like, it should all follow a path, and you feel like you know that when you left the website and went to the Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, that this is still the company that you were looking at. But local SEO can help you show up higher in the map ranking listings when someone searches for something relevant to your business. So these are some free SEO audit tools. SEO Optimizer, I really like the Ahrefs for keyword generation. These are great to look at and just play with. They can give you, like you said, they can rank your website. They can give you a few tips to look through, things that you can do to improve your SEO, and they're free. So, just taking a look at them and seeing what pops up and how you're ranking, like that can help a lot. So, I think a good thing to remember is that you're not fighting between on-page and off-page SEO, or even with technical. You need all of them to work together, so that it's just like if you had a car with no tires or an engine, you're not going anywhere. So SEO is a very important key factor to your business and your website, your digital presence. Without it, you're just going to be less likely to be found. Any questions? Yes.
Could you show us those SEO optimization, those audit tools?
Yes.
Again?
I would add on something to what you said, which is so crucial, is your SSL. That's your secure certificate is so crucial, because 10 years ago, Google warned us. People called it Googlegate, and they said, over the next 10 years, we're going to start making people have to secure your site. Or what they'll do is they're going to put this big red block on your browser. It's going to say, do you want to go into this site? Are you sure you're going to? It's not secure. And guess what? People get scared today with fraud and everything. They're gone. And by the way, Google Chrome is used by 63.6% of users. Bing search tool, 0.46. 0.46%.
They're
I'm
climbing.
mobile users, which we're on.
Yeah, most people are mobile.
So, if you don't have an SSL certificate,
Very
you need
good.
to talk to her for sure.
Just a quick question. So last I had heard cookies, third-party cookies were going to be eliminated, but was 2024, and then it got pushed back again. Do you know where that is standing at? And the reason I ask is because then the SEO and the SEM and those different tools become even more important if you're not able to do the third-party advertising and tracking.
I have not heard that.
Oh, okay.
I don't have
So
a
it's
great
true,
answer.
it is correct, and it's probably gonna be even farther in 2026.
Yeah, they keep pushing it out and out.
And one of those reasons is that people don't like their stuff being stored constantly.
Right.
Of course, it helps with page speed and everything like that, but
Yeah.
it's just, you're allowing you to connect and almost link to different things, and that's pissing people off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's probably gonna be 2026 or even further.
Yeah, I would think that would be a hard
It's
thing to
even
get rid of.
Well, I figured it's too tied to money, right?
Right.
In some ways,
It's always-
it sounds like a
everything's
great
tied to
thing to
money.
say, try to get rid of, but then when you look at the
Right.
consequence of what you lose in dollars and advertising
Sure.
dollars.
Think about all those times that people just hit accept cookies without even thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I do that a lot.
All the time.
Any other questions?
As more people become comfortable going to AI to find answers to their questions, what impact do you see that having on SEO over the next 5 or so years?
So AI is a great tool. It's a tool that you can use in almost any business industry for idea generation, for just, but that's just it, it's a tool. You cannot just step in and use it to completely take away that personal touch that lets people know, like, this is a real person. If you've ever noticed when you're scrolling, you can kind of tell when it's been written by AI.
What
So
about-
I think that people have to kind of, not everybody wants to, but we kind of need to move with it and learn how to use it to our best benefit, but it doesn't replace the person.
What about it replacing the search engine, right? Rather than going to Google and saying restaurants near me, using ChatGPT or equivalents to say best Friday night date spot in Niles, right? Like, people are starting to use that AI more and more for a search engine as opposed to just Google. What impact does that have to how we should be structuring our web pages? Or does it?
That's a great question. Again, I won't say that I just know. I'm
No, it's
not
great. It's
100%.
great.
Do you have
I
anything
do.
on that?
So, AI is being added to so many more things now to be able to work together with it. I will tell you that I am the most popular husband this morning because ChatGPT gave me a great poem. And I read this to my wife, I was like, what do you think? She's like, oh my God. So I was like, all right, ChatGPT help me. She's like, get out. But I'm telling you, that tool is here to stay and it's gonna work. But now, there's ways to go do that. I will tell you that I will go to ChatGPT and ask it a question before I go to Google. The problem is Google is so much faster and nobody says, ChatGPT that. They Google it. I don't even hear anybody say Bing
And
that.
ChatGPT's knowledge base only goes back to 2021?
That's what they're saying, but that's being fed constantly.
Yeah.
If you were to ask it a question about 18th century Egyptian art, it'll give you an answer. So it's starting to
It might
compile
lie.
everything and actually grabbing
It does lie.
everything for 27 search engines. So it is, in fact, Google, Bing, Ask.com, everything you can think of in one. So it is going to be something we're going to have to be prepared for. But what companies like yourself and what anybody in our world has to do is learn to work with that, not try to fight it off. Everybody says, nah, I don't want to do that kind of, You stay that. I'm trying not to hog your thing.
No,
In 1962,
no,
Walt Disney.
I don't want to be like, oh, I know all of this. And then
Walt Disney stood up in 1962 and said, we have to adapt to the world around us. If we don't, we will die. He was saying that as he was building Epcot, the world of tomorrow, okay? Can you imagine Walt Disney today with everything on us, with ChatGPT and mobile optimization? Oh my God. So take somebody's advice from 70 years ago. We have to adapt. You just saying, I don't need a website and word of mouth. Yeah, your business will die. It will not grow. You can say it'll grow, but statistically it will not grow. You must adapt.
Likely the topic of a future luncheon.
For sure.
AI automation.
AI automation, that's exactly right.
Thank you very much. Just a couple things for your calendar coming up. Tomorrow, we're going to see the beginning of our Third Thursday series. The third Thursday of every month, February through November, sponsored by Sturgis Bank. We're going to have, we're just going to explore Niles and the fun spots around the region. And it starts with the Underground Laugh Lounge and their whiskey lounge tomorrow night. So 4 to 5 o'clock will be that time period. So come out for that. But we've already got 30 plus people registered for that. We're going to have a fun time. So come by for that. And we've also introduced our new morning breakfast, Chamber Buzz breakfast. That is the first Wednesday of the month. We just had our first one last week. We have max capacity for it. People are coming out. So come to our chamber website event page, and you can find the registration links for all of those events. That breakfast Chamber Buzz sponsored by Everwise Credit Union. We've just got some great partners. And that's part of the reason why we do these lunch and learns, because a lot of these topics are overwhelming for companies to handle, and we've got some trusted partners in the community within the chamber that can help out with SS Website Solutions and TJ21. And it's our effort to help give them some exposure to you folks and make some helpful introductions, because some people are doing quality work and just trying to help let people know about it. So thanks again for coming today and making this lunch and learn a real success. Thanks again for Jason and Southwestern Michigan College for hosting us here.